we know what we have to do, and we get it done. We just take care of what we have to take care of.
That statement right there is business. You know what you have to do, and you just get it done.
Welcome to the RV Entrepreneur Podcast, the weekly show for nomads, work campers, RVers, and entrepreneurs looking to earn a living or build a business while enjoying the RV lifestyle. This week's host is Glenn Willard. Let's settle in and enjoy the RV Entrepreneur Podcast, brought to you by RV Life.
Welcome to the RV Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Glenn Willard, your host this week, and today I have the privilege of speaking with Jim and Jourdan of Jimbo Company. Together in 2010, they took the initiative to change the transportation game, and we'll take the time to explore how they got started, the complexities of running such a large logistical transport business, and of course, being in business with your sibling. Let's get rolling.
This episode is made possible by Travelfy. Want reliable internet without the hassle? Meet Travelfy. It's portable, high-speed Wi-Fi that's ready to go wherever you are. From road trips to remote cabins. No tricky setup or permanent location required. Just plug in and you're connected. And here's the best part. No contracts, no commitments, and no reactivation fees. Pay only for the months you need. Travelfy connects to the strongest available signal among multiple major networks, so you stay online with confidence, backed by a US-based support team that knows the outdoor lifestyle. Travelfy, simplifying internet while you travel. Visit travelfy.com today. That's TRAVLFI.com. Listeners can save 15% with code RVE at checkout.
Hey, Jim and Jourdan, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
So I already did that separate intro, but I want to kind of go back. I want you guys to take me all the way back to 2010 and tell me how you conceived of this idea and where it began.
So 2010, I sold my first business, which gave us the seed capital to start what we're doing today. Right after the recession, there was a kind of a big gap in the market for cargo trailers, and that's where we got our start. We focused strictly on cargo trailers, and to the point where I think we kind of dominated the market. And then we started branching our arms elsewhere. But that's where we 2010, that's where we started.
So was there a discrepancy in the market already? Did you see an opportunity?
For cargo trailers, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
It was an open market.
There wasn't enough to keep you busy. You had to do a lot of little odds and ends things everywhere. You know, there might be one place that's taken something 200 miles away, but it's one-offs, and
Yep.
we had to get a lot of one-offs in order to get our, momentum going. And that's where it just kind of transpired from there. And then it like a snowball, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I imagined like going from just a one-off, and you have to have like 100 of them before you get return shipments on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who you are, who you have no reputation, you have no business built on multiple ends. So that's a huge risk to start something like that. I mean, I suppose if you didn't have the seed capital from the sale of your company, would you have done this?
No, probably not. Yeah. I wouldn't have even, nope.
Nope. That's pretty definitive.
Yeah.
It's hard. It really is hard to.
From an insurance standpoint, you have to be so many trucks before you really get a break. So a new guy starting out, even in this day and age, a new guy starting out, it's difficult. You really got to break some barriers before you start making any money, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. And you also have another aspect that I know from my consulting with one of the manufacturing companies I consult with, is that, when you're working with a trucking brokerage firm, if you, the customer, don't have a reputation with the shipper, then how do you trust that you're going to ship our product and we're going to pay you? So you have multiple ends here.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've been on the wrong end of that before, where, we've trusted a certain shipment at first, and we've been burnt.
Yeah.
Not paid on the other end, and
that's the other thing is finding clients that you can trust for sure.
Yes, and we're not talking about small revenue here. We're talking about big shipping revenue.
Yeah.
So when you get burned, you really get burned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what you're already filling me in on some of the challenges that you got started. What are some of the other challenges that you guys had to overcome, we'll say, to grow?
Yeah.
So your competition is almost 90% of the problem. You have some guy that he can lower his rate just a little bit and take it away from you, and if you're not geared up to make adjustments or able to take the hit, sometimes it's a cutthroat industry. Somebody will just take it away, and then once they take it away, it's gone.
Yeah.
You got to work hard to get it back, or you just got to put your nose down and keep digging. I mean,
and the biggest thing is just making sure, what they're buying from us is service. If we're not the cheapest in town, we have to be the best. So, that's where we've kept a lot of customers, even though we might not be the cheapest, we have a great service. So, and we've branched into customer deliveries as well. So
when we say expedited deliveries, it's expedited, 1 to 3 days. That's as good as it's really good. It's the best we could do. So we try and we make a lot of impossible things happen.
Yeah.
Sure. I was going to say, where was I with that one? That's one of the challenges. I didn't realize it was so cutthroat as far as the competition, but you did make a statement earlier, Jim, and it's not so much price point. I think if you have an outstanding service and you offer the solution from start to finish where the customer doesn't have to think about it very much, then even if you're a tiny bit more expensive, I'm still going to use you for my shipping, period.
Yep. Yeah, it's peace of mind. Yeah.
Yes. And Jourdan, I see you're about to say something there, but I just want to throw out here that the long-term value of your current customers is so incredibly valuable that if you have to keep paying to get new customers, then you're going to run yourself out of business.
Exactly.
Yes.
When they go from to buying the trailer, it's flawless. The last thing the customer is going to remember is the shipping. If it was good or it was bad, ugly, they're always going to remember the shipper, at the end. So that's where we've really done our homework and key areas on, making sure that our deliveries it doesn't always happen. Okay. And there's always room for error, and we're not perfect, but we do, if something does happen, we do everything we can to rectify it and make sure the customer is always happy. For our customers, because sometimes they might just be one-time customers, because not everybody's buying an RV or a trailer every couple of years. Maybe they are, and we've had some repeat customers, but in the long run, the service is 100%. That's our goal, customer service.
Yes. I bet you Amazon would have a lot to say about this right now, But that comment I just made leads me to the next thing is you guys use almost entirely contract-based drivers, correct?
Yeah.
How did you come to this concept?
Well, it's kind of an industry thing. It was new to me because before I owned a trucking company that I sold, it was all asset-based. And, I had my own trucks and drivers. And, honestly, they take better care of their equipment when it's their own. So, the downfall to it is I can't tell them where to go. They have to pick. So that's the difference between contractors and actual employees. But it works out.
Interesting. You made a statement that has a lot of weight. They take better care of their equipment when they own it.
Yep.
And some of that pride of ownership carries over into the whole contracting business. I honestly, when I started looking over what you guys do and learning about your business, I had no idea that it was so heavily contracted
Yeah.
I thought, it was like Walmart, where if you work for Walmart and you drive for Walmart, you work for Walmart.
Sure. Yep.
But that is not the case. So how do you find these contractors? Do they find you? And how do you screen them?
Yeah. So eventually you do get a name out there. So, people know of you. But, it wasn't at first the best way to do it, but a lot of it comes from social media. It used to be Craigslist, which is that died, but social media is the big attractor.
We've had some winners.
I bet. Well, okay. So if you use social media to find drivers and contractors, are you using paid ads, or are you just using social, like organically produced content?
Yeah. So we're going both methods. We've built a big base over the years that we've put money and resources into, Facebook and those kinds of platforms. So we do have, people that we already targeted, and they might have followed or liked your page 5 years ago, but now they're becoming a driver, or from paid ads. So, it's coming from both ends. And it doesn't happen overnight. But, eventually you do get to that point.
Sure. Once you find that driver, how long do you find that they stick with you? And can they contract with other organizations at the same time?
If they're drive away, so driving like a motorhome, yes. For the other departments that we have, no.
And the longevity of the drivers, we do have 2 from the original Craigslist days that are still with us today.
Yep.
So what we've learned is you treat your guys right, they're going to stick around. And we don't try to, retire off every one of them. So we give them a decent, it's actually more than decent, because we're one of the higher paying trucking companies in our industry. So we give more to the drivers. They're able to save more back. They're actually able to repair their trucks if, things go south. And we've had guys that just continues, we're going to get a new truck. Fine. It's like, okay, all right, and they're staying with us. Some guys, one of them's Ponytail is what we call him, because he has a ponytail. Every one of them got a nickname. Don't ever tell them, but they do. And he's probably burnt through 5 or 6 trucks, over the course of almost 15 years, I would say. He's been with us since the beginning. It's crazy.
Hey RVers, let's be real. Your RV showerhead isn't great. And even if you swapped it out for something better, chances are it's just a shinier version of the same old thing. And if you're really lucky, those stiff hose kind of let you get wet, but definitely not where you want it. That's where WaterPick comes in. A global leader in water technology, they've designed the Transform RV showerhead to change the way you shower on the road, making it easier and more efficient to shower in tight RV spaces. While other RV showerheads have limited spray adjustments, the Transform RV's unique 360-degree pivoting head allows you to customize to any spray angle without having to remove it from the bracket. This means you can reach your desired spray area and shower with both hands free. This shower head doesn't just work better, it feels better. It's engineered to deliver powerful, consistent water flow. Its multiple spray settings are optimized to get the most out of your water tank. And with the new trickle switch, you can conserve water without that shocking blast of cold or hot water when you turn it back on. It's available in white, chrome, and nickel. The WaterPick Transform RV Showerhead is ready to upgrade your RV shower. Head over to Amazon and check it out now.
Nice. I do find in that whole entrepreneurial venture, if you pay your contractors and employees above industry standards and you treat them like family, they stick around, but you root for them. You're like, yeah, I want to get a new truck. I want to help you get a new truck as fast as we can, because, sure, that makes us look good. That makes everyone's happy, but it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We don't want anybody.
Yeah.
So
We don't want any of them to fail. We want them to succeed, because if they're happy, we're happy. And if, they're happy, the customers are happy. It's all one, it all goes together like a big puzzle, and
yes,
it works.
it does. So, okay, you've got these contractors. Now, what happens, because I'm sure reviews are huge for you guys, and
Mhm.
I'm talking Google reviews, social media, whatever happens. What do you do if you end up with one of your drivers gets you less than stellar review?
Yeah, one thing is we try to rectify anything that happened. Of course, sometimes you can't get the review taken down, but we try our hardest to rectify anything that may happen. And, even though it's a bad review, we still we feed upon that as well. What could we be doing better? Instead of it being everything being a bad thing, let's make some good of it. What could we do better? To not have that again. Instead of continuing the same path.
Right. And would you work to correct any behavior on that contractor, or do you just make life simple and eliminate them?
It honestly just depends, but
it depends on who hears about it first, okay? Because there's a hammer in every toolbox, and one of us sitting at this table is a little softer than the other one. So, there's a couple of them that should have been gone a long time ago that are still with us today because somebody might have had a little bit, bigger of a heart, I guess, in certain situations. Now, it depends on the situation. Some guys everybody has bad days.
Yep.
Yes.
So, and you have to be forgiving and you have to give a little, take a little, so it depends on the situation. We've had some drivers give bad reviews to customers for, taking long times for deliveries or anything. And as soon as something like that happened, I could think of one instance that comes to mind. They had to wait for a long time to take a delivery. So they left a bad review, the driver, because of course he drove, 3 days to get somewhere, and he's upset that he's got to wait because everybody's, they should be first in line. And we called after we got a phone call saying, hey, there was a bad review. We rectified it. Okay, I was in a bad mood. Everybody has that bad day. So things are sometimes easy to take care of. Sometimes they aren't. He's still with us today, actually, and he's had a change of heart.
He took down the bad review.
He took down the bad review right away. Yeah.
Glad to hear that. It's whenever someone is leaving a bad review or making a comment on somebody, I always want to reply with, I know you're perfect. And you would never do this. So, well, we all have those bad days. So you're right. A little bit of grace goes a long way under those circumstances. We've talked a lot about, a little bit about the business, but we really haven't gotten into moving and transporting RVs, which, this is the RV entrepreneur. So I want to blend the RV aspect, and I want to blend the background of your business and how you make things work. How did you get into transporting RVs? Like what was the light bulb moment?
I would say that once we got to a certain point for cargoes, like I said, you have to 100 one-offs to get, things to start rolling. And where RVs, the good thing about RVs is volume. So once we had a driver base that we were able to continue to service and, expedite shipments and deliveries, it got to the point where we needed to find something else. And it just, you pick up a dealership here or a manufacturer here, and it's just slowly you gotta crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. You cannot automatically jump into this and automatically have 100 drivers and you're able to front all of their money, because they get paid before they get delivered. They have to get their half up front or more, and it takes a lot. So when you think about it, how do you get into that? It's the RVs. Yeah, it just slowly happens. I guess you have to do it slow. You can't do it fast. Yeah.
Sure. I imagine. No, you already answered my question when you said the manufacturer and sales companies. So you're moving not just personal, you're moving industry wide for
Yes.
RVs.
Yep.
Nice. What about? I mean, is there a different level of insurance that you need to carry, or is it kind of all the same? No matter what you're moving, it's the same.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're covered for whatever the value that you're shipping, of course. So yeah, I mean, there are some times when we do haul, and we don't just haul RVs. We haul government stuff as well. And there might be something that's extremely expensive. You can buy insurance policies that are just strictly for that unit, so you're not paying your high end across the board. So yeah, you can increase your limits.
Interesting. I mean, you're giving us a beautiful insight of this industry that most of our listeners are RV based and they don't have any idea about how this works. So this is cool. I didn't know you could do that. And what type of stuff do you haul for the government?
Like a mobile command centers that they open up. They have all sorts of. It's a command center, and they hurricane relief. A lot of stuff for FEMA. There's been a lot of stuff to different various military bases around the country, and
some stuff's unknown. We have gone to some Area 51 is one of them. Hey, you don't have a clue what's in there. So
nice. It's covered in black plastic, and you're not allowed to move that. And right. I believe the government calls those black plastic shipments. So yeah. That's makes for a great story. What do you prefer? And what's like the better margin for you? The RV side or non-RV?
Better margins is going to always be your one-offs, stuff that, that
goes directly to the customer.
Yeah, directly to the customer and that kind of stuff. It's just that the volume isn't quite there, So I would say the biggest, RVs, coming directly from factory to the dealer is going to be your best
margin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because of the volume.
Sure. Do you ever? This is my own curiosity here as far as like when you bring on a new contractor and they found you, do you ever find them that they have sort of an inadequate truck or hitch setup? And my big thing when I was for our channel was I towed for 30,000 miles with 10,000 pounds, and I see way too many F-150s pulling things that they shouldn't be pulling, or really they shouldn't be pulling anything at all. But so fill me in.
Yeah. So yeah, we have strict criteria. A certain year of truck, certain, there's even, certain years that we won't, just because we know that they're, maybe the engine's not typically, I'll just take this example of Ford 6.0 was a terrible motor. And, we try to steer clear of them. One, we don't want, I don't care if you got a deal on it. We don't want that person
breaking down because we know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to rescue him.
Yeah, but not only that, we don't want the contractor to fail. If we see that a situation where we know that they're going to fail, we try to prevent it.
Good call. I'm glad to hear that too. Just not any truck, and it's got to be the right truck for the job. And there's also the safety aspect of that beyond whether it's going to break down or not too. So
for sure.
Yes. Any like unique technology that you guys use for managing all of your contractors, or such as like a load board or Samsara surveillance type stuff? What do you use?
Yeah. So we've been 5 years in the making on a platform that our whole office staff uses, plus our drivers use. So it just streamlines the whole thing. We've brought a lot of technology into the mix that has I shouldn't say eliminated, but we wouldn't have had to hire people for positions in the office because we've kept updating our software. So our office staff is not growing, and our contractors are where we should have added 10 people by now. And the technology we just keep reinvesting into the technology instead of employees. Now, it might sound bad, we don't get new employees, but we take care of the ones we have.
Oh, of course. Sure. How does that technology work? Because I was on your website and I was learning how your load board works, but
Sure.
Fill me in. What does that mean when, I understood it, but I want to make sure the listeners understand it.
Yeah. So we've kind of streamlined things to where from the time we get the order to the time the driver picks it up, it should be less than a day. So unless, we're having trouble finding a guy for it, but at least 3-day lead time. But 9 times out of 10, we have all of the paperwork done, everything done. We've put it on our load board, which is really our nucleus. So everybody's informed on how things, from the lot pull guy, the guy bringing it to the yard, to the end, that driver. He requests the load, and he can request it from anywhere in the United States. And he requests it, he comes to picks it up, drives it. The other thing that we have is when, say he does get close to delivery, he can see, there might be a reload, somewhere else that he can pick up and start driving either away from, somewhere else or back towards us.
Sure. So if he's driving from your area and he's delivering something to Wilmington, Delaware, but halfway back in Pennsylvania, there's a pickup, he can swing right through and be paid for the return trip.
Exactly. And, we're dealing with a lot of warranty, factory warranty stuff. So
Sure.
He might pick one up in Pennsylvania and bring it right back to our headquarters here in Middlebury.
Yeah. We do a lot with we're in the RV capital of the world. So there's always a need for those trailers, the millions of them that are out there, to come back for service. So we've done very good at keeping our guys loaded both ways. So, and that load board and our app that they're on, that helps keep them up to date on where they're at. Hey, there's something. Let's, grab it and go. Continue the loaded miles as much as you can.
Absolutely. And Jourdan, that's, wow. What a way to drive better revenue. I can only imagine that the logistics of what that software can do would require 10 to 15 people on the phone constantly, back and forth. And it's incredible that you don't have to hire another single person. And
so every time that we think we have to hire somebody, we all sit down and figure out what that looks like. So what does that look like? What could we be doing better? And, so say a lot of tasks are tedious. So why not have the computer do it for us? And let's put you in that role that you're in and have you do a good job. So as we grow, there's just a bunch of tedious tasks that start coming up. And that's what we've been reinvesting into our platform so that we continuously don't have to hire people in the office, but make them better.
Yes. So this technology is a massive system for scaling, period. Would you consider it like one of your most important systems?
It is the only system.
It gives us time to still be human and communicate with the drivers that come in, and even, take phone calls for talking to them. I mean, we're still small enough to where, hey, if you need to get a hold of me, you call any of us and we answer the phone and you can physically talk to a person. It's you don't have an automated deal you have to go through. We're still able to have time to communicate with everybody effectively. And that's really, I think, what's set us apart from a lot of other places is if they get too big, you have 4 or 5 different cues you have to do on the phone before you get to somebody. No, it just give us a call and we still answer the phone. We still talk to them. And like I said, it gives us enough time to where we can still shake hands and talk to everybody out there. I like coming in and just talking to the guys in the yard. I love it. I really do.
Jim, do you know how valuable that is? I mean, from the driver's perspective of not having to go through a telephone tree of prompts before you just get to somebody, and to have somebody that just wants to sit there and rap with you. That's nice.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I love it. There's another thing that I ran across on some of your social media. You do a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
What is that about? And do you, I'm assuming that you use that to build morale but I didn't quite understand it.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is just getting, when you do your job every day, there's nothing new. It's like Groundhog Day. So, and a lot of these guys are traveling, but they're not, they don't even know that this stuff is out there. So, we tried to make it so people are actually, we know where our routes are, and we tried to make it so that people would go to, past these places, take a picture, and it really sparks conversation. It sparks I would say community within our team players here. And we even opened it up into the public, so it's interesting to see, pictures that you start getting back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the participation would be kind of low, and it sounds like it's really big.
Yeah.
It's incredible for the people that do join in. And it's like, who is this? Do they work for us? No, they don't. They're just, they're just somebody that likes our page.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to join in on the fun. It's like, hey, and they still can enter to win prizes and stuff. We like to give stuff away, like to give swag away. We gave a TV away for one of the last ones, I mean, just fun stuff.
Nice. Well,
Going.
It's incredible promotion for social media, and it's so powerful when you do something like that. So, and you're not wasting time by any means. You're building that morale, but you're also promoting like mad.
Yeah.
So, what's it like being in business with your sibling? Either one of you, whoever answers first.
Yeah, it's
careful.
It has its challenges. But I think we know what makes each other angry and what doesn't, and we do. It took a while to work well together, and we still have our challenges. But I think as we've grown, it's a lot easier.
I'm sure. I mean, all right. I heard yours, Jim. Jourdan?
So. It's definitely had its challenges. In the beginning, I would get fired probably every week. There was something that I did to where nobody could stand anything that I did. It was always wrong because I'm the baby of the family too. So that's automatically, points against you. So, but I'm the only one willing to do what task we need to do. Like I said, there's a hammer in every toolbox, and that one's not the hammer. But like he said, we work well together. We've been in knockdown, drag out fights, one day, and the same day later on that day we're shaking hands and we're still moving forward. Nothing's changed. We're still brothers, Yep. So that's it. We know what we have to do and we get it done. We just take care of what we have to take care of.
That statement right there is business. You know what you have to do, and you just get it done. And I don't think I have to ask if you guys would do it again if you had to start over, if you would go into business together, because I already know the answer. You'd do it again, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What would we do? I have no idea what it would be, but if I could do it over again, I would be with this knucklehead again.
What do you wish you had known, like from the very beginning? Or is there something that you I know in my personal business, there were so many things that when I look back, I'm like, God, I wish I had known that when I started, even though I was successful in the end. Is there anything that you wish you had known?
To be honest with you, I don't think, as far as my opinion, I would say no, because if you live and breathe it, you will learn all your mistakes. You won't do it again. If somebody tells you how to do it, it's different.
Yes.
So I would say no. I love the mistakes that we've made because we've always turned a negative into a positive.
You are a true entrepreneur, period.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There's really, of course, everybody wants the cheat code, just take me to the end. But like I said, we've lived and breathed it. We've been on the road. We've been stuck in traffic. We've been delayed. He's sent me out on Christopher Columbus Day to go to a government facility that doesn't take a delivery on Christopher Columbus Day. I've been upset about it. I've been there, done that. I wouldn't change it for the world. I would do it all over again.
Nice. Glad to hear that. And that's settling. In fact, if anyone is going to use your business as a service, I imagine they like hearing that too. What do you want our listeners to know about you as far as sort of how they can get in touch with you? And because I want them to feel comfortable having their RV shipped by you.
Yeah. As far as anybody can request a quote from our website, but you can also call. If anybody were to call in, I mean, they would get a human being, and they would be able to work with that whoever took the order throughout the whole experience. So if they had any problems, if they had schedule changes, they could email, text, call, whatever they would want to do.
Good. And the ability for them to just speak to you puts them at ease, because I mean, you're moving something for them that could be $100,000, and it's in your hands and out of their hands. So the comfort of hearing someone's voices is huge.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the step-by-step, updates that they would get from any one of the drivers, that is key. Like you said, it could be $100,000. It could be their life savings that they've purchased. Their hard-earned money is getting ready to be on the back of our truck and go down the road, and they need to have peace of mind that we're going to get it there in a timely fashion, and it's not going to have the McDonald's drive-through call box hanging off the backside of it when it shows up there. If there's any issues, we like to take care of them and even let them know. Say, hey, something has occurred. We are going to make it right, and rest assured that we stand by what we say, and it's even if the experience is bad, we're going to make it good in the end, and they're still going to be satisfied with using us and hopefully use us again.
That's right.
Yes. Just being proactive when something occurs is so valuable to the customer. And you guys get it. It's clear. So is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about the transport business, especially involving RVs?
That if you are, even if you're wanting to become a driver or you're wanting to get a done, I would always say, hey, yeah, go ahead, use me, but be careful on who you do go, read some reviews, call and talk to them automatically. If you can call and actually speak to somebody on the phone, that's key. That's peace of mind. Just be careful, maybe look up their information. If they got a decent website, if they have, look them on Facebook. Is their page certified? Are they just a fly by night? What kind of thing is this? And even if you want to become a driver, take a look at it. They have these forms that you can get on for all the driving. The drivers have their own community, and it's special. And those guys are always bouncing ideas off of each other. Or what do you think about these guys? Or what do you think about those guys? And it's really valuable. It is, because it gives you honest opinions from everybody that has either worked at our facility or anybody else's company, that they get kind of real time feedback on how it is. And that's, do your research, really do your research, and find where a good fit for you would be. If you feel like you're home at some place, stay there. It's not always, is the grass always greener on the other side? It sometimes is, sometimes it isn't. Just, it's where you feel like home is.
Sure. Okay, so let's say one of our listeners, they're done pulling their trailer for the past 30,000 miles and they want to become a driver. What are the steps? How much money can they make? How much are they going to end up working? What's that like?
Yeah. So I mean, they would apply online for us. They could look at all the driver requirements. As far as how much could they make, really, it's endless opportunities. You could make anywhere from 50,000 to 200,000-300,000. Just depends on what you're doing and how ambitious you're going to be. Of course, I don't know what your expenses are going to be. You control those, but. Yeah, I would say that's probably about right.
Yeah. If you do it right, you don't have to eat out every night. You don't have to stay in a hotel every night. Some of these guys, they stay in the back of their truck, which is, hey, sometimes it's more comfortable than a bed at home. I mean, really, you got the truck idling. I like it sometimes.
Yeah.
And you keep your costs, whatever's comfortable for you. Sometimes people do really well with a brand new truck. Sometimes people use a used truck, depending on what works best for them. We've had people come from Fortune 500 companies that are saying, hey, I'm retiring. This is what I want to do. I've seen your company. I want to travel the world, and that, be my guest. Go and do it. Go live your best life and make some money while you're doing it. Go see the world's largest ball of twine, or the Battle of the Bighorn. Go see wherever. Do what you want to do, and that's what's great. Come drop a trailer in California and come Route 66 back. Enjoy the world. And the United States is by far one of the best places, and there's so many hidden gems around the country that you can go visit and tour that some people don't even know exist, and it's pretty cool. And you get paid to do it.
Bid farewell to the stress of travel planning with RV Life Trip Wizard. This feature allows you to customize your routes, avoid potential hazards, and even discover the best campgrounds based on real user reviews. It's not just about reaching your destination, it's about enjoying the journey. And with RV Life Trip Wizard, every journey is effortless. Learn more about this game-changing feature at rvlife.com.
Hey, you're right. There are so many hidden gems in this country, as we found when we full-timed. Do you find that your drivers and contractors who are that type, the ones who have retired and just want to drive and get paid to drive, do you find that they are your best customer service-based drivers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of them come from the military. They're retired from the military, so they automatically,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. They're respectful, and they respect other people's boundaries and their timelines and everything, and they're very punctual. They are always on time, and they're rarely ever late.
Yep.
Yes, there's a reason that military retirees have a real advantage of getting hired. And you're right. Yep. It's a respect and a yes, sir, yes, ma'am thing. Yep. Beautiful. So where can people get in touch with you for a transport, and also if they want to drive for you?
Yeah. Yep. So if you, either one, you can go to our website at www.jimboandcompany.com.
Or just my favorites, just Google it. That's my little slogan. What are you going to do? You're going to get on your phone, you're just going to Google it. Yep. Google Jimbo and Company, and there we are.
Yep.
And there you are. And that's how I found you. You're right. And I like that. Yeah, I say the same thing. I'm like, I heard your website, but I'm just going to type it in and see where it takes me. Yeah. So, yes. Anything else you want to add for the listeners?
I don't have anything.
No, I mean, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. If we finally got this thing down now, 3, 4, 5 attempts later, we made it work.
Yeah, for the listeners who are still on, that it took us 30 minutes just to get the whole system working. So, we were already 30 minutes in before we hit record. No, these guys they've been a real treat, and they're very agreeable to the situation, we'll say. But Jim, Jordan, I really appreciate you both being on the show and opening the eyes of our listeners to what it's like to transport RVs and other things around the country. So thank you both for being here.
Hey,
thank you for having us.
I hope you enjoyed hearing about Jim and Jordan's logistical journey as much as I enjoyed speaking with them. Be sure to check out their website at jimboandcompany.com if you're in need of a company to haul your RV or you're considering becoming a professional driver. Until next time, happy business building and RVing.
Hey RVers, let's be real. Your RV showerhead isn't great. And even if you swapped it out for something better, chances are it's just a shinier version of the same old thing. And if you're really lucky, those stiff hose kind of let you get wet, but definitely not where you want it. That's where Waterpik comes in. A global leader in water technology, they've designed the Transform RV showerhead to change the way you shower on the road, making it easier and more efficient to shower in tight RV spaces. While other RV showerheads have limited spray adjustments, the Transform RV's unique 360-degree pivoting head allows you to customize to any spray angle without having to remove it from the bracket. This means you can reach your desired spray area and shower with both hands free. This showerhead doesn't just work better, it feels better. It's engineered to deliver powerful, consistent water flow. Its multiple spray settings are optimized to get the most out of your water tank. And with the new trickle switch, you can conserve water without that shocking blast of cold or hot water when you turn it back on. It's available in white, chrome, and nickel. The Waterpik Transform RV showerhead is ready to upgrade your RV shower. Head over to Amazon and check it out now.